Well, Canada, you knew that this was coming. You knew it would only be a matter of time before our government declared the Bible to be hate speech, and you could be put in prison or charged criminally for reading passages of the Bible. And that could be here sooner than later. Here we have a roundtable discussion on hate speech in Canada. And of course, we have the ultra-woke, ultra-progressive, Liberal MP Marc Miller, who's Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship. Now, Marc Miller mentioned a couple of passages in the Bible he deems as hate speech. He mentioned Leviticus. Those are the passages speaking about same-sex union or same-sex sex as an abomination. He mentioned Deuteronomy. I don't know what he's referring to there, but he also mentioned the book of Romans, but he forgot the passage in 1 Timothy and 1 Corinthians. But here we have one of our Liberal MPs from Quebec, so we know he's more woke, we know he's more progressive. We also know that Marc Miller is a longtime friend of the ultra-woke ex-Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. But let's hear what someone from our Parliament has to say about the Bible.
Just use the chair's prerogative for 2 seconds to ask a follow-up question to Mr. Ross. As despicable and as unlawful, I believe the statements made by Mr. Sharkawi were and would be if they were stated again. We don't know why the prosecution chose not to continue with the charges. And perhaps it is to Mr. Fortin's point. I just want to dig in a bit about the concept of good faith, Mr. Ross. In Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Romans, there's other passages, there is clear hatred towards, for example, homosexuals. I don't understand how the concept of good faith could be invoked if someone were literally invoking a passage from, in this case, the Bible, but there are other religious texts that say the same thing, and somehow say that this is good faith. I mean, clearly there are situations in these texts where these statements are hateful. They should not be used to invoke or be a defense, and there should perhaps be discretion for prosecutors to press charges. I just want to understand what your notion of good faith is in this context where there are clearly passages in religious texts that are clearly hateful.
I noticed that Marc Miller happened to cherry pick and pick on the Bible, but did not mention anything from the Quran because that would be, I guess, insensitive. But here we have a liberal government that is out to get Christianity. Here we have a liberal government that wants every person to think just like them. And this is a man, Marc Miller, who's clearly against Jesus Christ and against his word. In essence, he wants to invoke Jesus and his word as criminal. And this is just for your information. This is being talked about on our Liberal Party level. This current government in Canada wants to regulate what we say in our churches, what we say on the streets, and what we say in our homes, and even what we believe. This is a very sad time for Canada. Please keep Canada in your prayers. Thanks for watching, and God bless.